Hi Anna, Miss Philly and the rest of the real women of Philadelphia. I'm Lori and it's dessert week. I know it's the week that many of us have just been waiting for. We've got so many cream cheese desserts running around in our head. It's nice to finally be able to invite you into my kitchen and show you some of mine. Now of course, Philadelphia cream cheese is going to be the star in our desserts this week. Cream cheese is something that can go into so many things, from breakfast, lunch, dinner, but especially good in those creamy desserts. It just adds the right amount of creaminess, the right amount of sweetness, and the right amount of flavor to every dessert. So the dessert I'm going to share with you today is my orange and chocolate pizza. It's a dessert pizza, obviously, and it's something that I made up because living in Alberta, we don't have a whole lot of fresh fruit around all the time, or things that are actually impressive to look at and delicious to eat at the same time. So oranges are something that are plentiful year-round. Whether it's summer or whether it's the middle of winter, you're going to have some beautiful fresh oranges available to you. Being the mom of a large family, we also have a lot of occasions to go to potlucks and family gatherings and things like that where I have to take along a dessert. This is the perfect dessert for me to take. It's something that I can whip up quickly at the last minute, and something where I have all the ingredients on hand based around my Philadelphia cream cheese, and something delicious that everybody just devours and I don't have to take any leftovers home. Although sometimes I think I'd like to take some leftovers home. But when you're cooking with cream cheese, you can't expect there to be any leftover. So let's get started on our pizza sauce, basically, which is our cream cheese base of this dessert pizza. Into my mixing bowl, I've already got a full brick of our Philadelphia cream cheese. The light version is a great choice for this recipe. It gives you all the creaminess and all the flavor that you need for the base of our dessert pizza, but you have 38% less fat into that dessert. So I've got that placed into my bowl, and I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla and 1.5 cups of icing sugar or confectioner's sugar, or powdered sugar, or whatever you choose to call it. About 1.5 cups there. And then also, I am going to zest one of my fresh oranges. So I've got my little zester here, and I'm just going to throw in a little bit of orange zest, not too much. Probably the equivalent of about a teaspoon of orange zest that's going into our base of our dessert pizza. That citrus smell from the orange zest really sets the tone for this dessert. Okay, after I've got about a teaspoon in there, I'm going to set that orange aside and we're going to work with it in just a little bit. And then we're going to mix this up with the electric mixer. Now I've brought the cream cheese to room temperature, which is a great help in mixing. I definitely recommend that when you're working on something like a dessert pizza, that you get your cream cheese out ahead of time, pull it out of the fridge, and let it warm up a little bit to room temperature. And voila, just like that, just that easy, we've got an amazing base for our dessert pizza. I'll show you here what we're going to be using for our pizza crust. I've taken a roll of pre-made crescent dough, just laid it out into a circle and baked it in the oven. It took about maybe just 11 minutes to bake here. You can use any type of sweet dough that you like. If you'd like to make something homemade, and something like a crescent roll dough is just perfect for the base that you're looking for a dessert pizza. But when you're in a hurry, or if you want something that you can just pull out of the fridge last minute, having pre-made crescent dough is the way to go. So I've laid that out in a circle, baked it up, and now it's cooled off, which took all of maybe 5 minutes. So we are going to spread our pizza sauce, which is our Philadelphia cream cheese creamy sauce, right onto our pizza crust here. Take it pretty much right to the edges. There's no reason to leave a border of crust here, because this is honestly the best part of our orange and chocolate pizza, is our Philadelphia cream cheese. So I'm going to spread that out evenly. Now what we've got here is a perfect little pizza crust with our Philadelphia cream cheese base laid out there, and now we're going to start on our toppings. For our toppings for our orange and chocolate pizza, it's just that simple, orange and chocolate. So I'm going to take the orange that I used the zest from earlier and just use my paring knife to cut just through the rind around in a circle here. That's going to make it really easy to get the rind off. Okay, then I'm going to start on cutting, first of all, just the end off until I can see some orange there, and set that guy aside. Then I'm going to cut some nice thin slices. We're going to slice just thin slices here, straight off of the orange. And we're going to do 2 oranges for the size of pizza that I've got made up here. Okay, now you're going to take your little orange discs there, and they should be almost cut in half because you've got your 2 slices in your orange rind already. Use a paring knife to just connect those 2 spots, and then you've got half slices there. Then continue with your paring knife to just cut carefully around the very edge of that orange to take the whole peel off. And then you will have some perfect little half moons of oranges, which you'll then take and place decoratively around on your pizza. This is probably the most time-consuming part, is trying to get those rinds off in a neat and orderly fashion without squirting yourself with orange juice. But once you've got your discs there, we're going to start just placing them. I start at the center and place them around in a little circle around the edge of your pizza, and then another layer around the outside edge. Now we've got our sliced oranges laid out in little half moons, following the same direction all around the pizza, all the way almost to the edges, but to the edge of your cream cheese, your Philadelphia cream cheese base there. Next, we're going to work on our chocolate. I find the easiest way to melt chocolate for a recipe is to do it in the microwave. You can do it on the stove, make sure you're working at a really low heat. Chocolate's very easy to burn, and if it starts to get a little too hard or difficult to stir, then you've overdone it and it's best to just start over. But let's take this over to the microwave and get 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips melted up smoothly. Remember when you're melting your chocolate in the microwave that you want to do it on low power. I generally set my microwave to power 3, stir it every 40 to 45 seconds until it starts getting nice and smooth. It may seem a little tedious, but that's the way I ensure that I never overmelt my chocolate and never burn it. Now after a couple minutes in the microwave, you've got some perfectly melted chocolate ready for your dessert pizza. I've put my chocolate into a small freezer bag, sandwich bag actually, with a little tiny cut out of the bottom corner. This is going to be perfect for piping it onto our pizza. You could also use an icing bag or regular piping bag with a fine tip. If you don't have, or if you have one handy, that works too. So now we're going to decoratively and beautifully just drizzle it right over the slices of orange that we already have on top of our Philadelphia cream cheese base. So I'm going to start just from one side. We're going to do kind of a back and forth drizzle here. You could go circles, you could go spirals, you could do whatever you'd like. Now the possible very messy part would be bursting your chocolate bag. So try very hard not to squeeze too hard. And just patiently take that chocolate all around the pizza. We're ready to cut it up and get it ready for serving onto the buffet table. Now I've taken a sharp knife, sliced it into some small pizza slices, and let's take a look and see how these turned out. The orange and chocolate dessert pizza is going to be a hit at every occasion. Enjoy.